I can do anything. I can reach any goal today. I can do what I want. I can be what I want to be.
Hi guys, Katie Azevedo here from SchoolHabits.com. Today I'm going to give you 10 back-to-school tips to start the school year off right. So I know it feels like summers are getting shorter, but they actually are getting shorter. The reason is that many schools are now moving up their start date to mid-August, and that's crazy. But no matter when you're headed back to school, the beginning of every school year symbolizes new beginnings on many fronts. New classes, new goals, new friends, new schedules, and even new schools. Now, included in this list of new things should also be new school habits. Yeah, new or at least rejuvenated school habits. Like New Year's Eve for many people, let the first day of school mark the beginning of your personal change. Let this year be the year when you get organized and stay organized, when you find the ideal agenda and calendar system, when you finally nail time management, when you stop procrastinating. Seriously, make this year the year when you perfect your school habits. Why not? Why not now? So here are 10 back-to-school tips that you should really have in mind before the bell rings on the first day. Number 1, do your summer assignments and do them well. Now some of you have summer reading, some of you have AP work to do. Whatever the assignment that you're supposed to hand in on that first day, do it. Do it all. Do it well. The amount of time and effort you put into your summer assignments sets the tone for the rest of the year. It sets the standard against which you'll be measured for the rest of the year. Now, sure, some teachers don't check the work, and sometimes you might be able to slide by without completing the whole assignment. I get it. But don't cop out on this. When you show up to class on the first day of school and you hand in a piece of work, it represents you. So if you have poor quality work, then that's how you're presenting yourself to your teachers. Shortcuts only get you nowhere faster. Now, number 2, have the right materials. A surgeon is going to have a tough time performing surgery without the right tools. A baseball game is going to be really interesting if neither team has bats. Having the right materials is so important to starting the year off right, so make sure you take this step seriously. Plus, who doesn't love back-to-school shopping? But I don't suggest you go shopping until you know what classes you're taking so that you can match the supplies to the type of class. So if a class requires lots of in-class note-taking, then maybe get a 3-ring binder with loose-leaf paper so you can reorganize your notes when you need to. For English class, maybe you'd prefer a notebook because those types of notes don't need to shift around a lot. If you only have 3 classes, maybe you only need 1 binder or 1 3-subject notebook. If you have more than 3 classes, I'd suggest getting a separate notebook for each one, or things could get messy and bulky and heavy, you know? Now get new pens if you can. Get color pens if you're into color coding. I love colors. Get supplies that are functional, but also get those that excite you. Because if you like your notebooks, you're going to use them properly. Number 3, connect with and understand your teachers from the get-go. So first, you have one shot at making a first impression, so on your first day of school, show up and put your best foot forward. Present the best version of yourself and hold yourself to that standard from then on. And second, just as all students have different learning styles, different teachers have different teaching styles. The sooner you recognize each teacher's unique teaching style, you'll be better able to meet their expectations and be successful. You might not like a teacher's teaching style, but that's what it is. So let's say that in the first week of school, you realize that your new science teacher is a lecturer. Okay, she stands in front of the room and she talks and talks and talks. Now that might be okay for some students, but what if you're a visual learner? Then that teaching style would not work for you. So what would you do? You have to be your own advocate. You have to find a way to get the information presented in a way that suits you. You can ask your teacher after school if she has handouts or visuals to supplement her lecture. You can search for the information online, perhaps in a video. You can try to translate the teacher's words into an image or a chart that makes sense to you. The bottom line is that you can't change your teacher's teaching style. It's really hard to change your own learning style. So you have to compromise and find your own way to get what you need. Number 4, take good notes from the beginning. Having a trustworthy note-taking system is one of the best school habits you can have. And from the very first day of school, make a promise to yourself that your notes are going to be a masterpiece. That might sound dramatic, but try it. Now, I discuss in detail my note-taking system in another video. Watch that. But the key nugget from my system is to take notes as efficiently as possible during class, using a bullet format and abbreviations and symbols to speed up the transcription. And then that day, has to be that day, you go home and type up or rewrite your notes, being sure to fill in any missing pieces that escaped you during class. Fill in the blanks, complete your sentences, spell out the abbreviations, use color coding if you want, but you must do this on the same day you took the notes. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to fill in the blanks even just 24 hours later, guaranteed. Also, you should do a weekly clean out. Shouldn't take more than 10 minutes, during which you go through your notebooks, your binders, your folders, your backpack, and toss the trash and put items back where they belong. Start your notes right, and then keep them right. Number 5 is to get a good agenda and a calendar system. No way that you can get through school without having an assignment notebook / agenda and a calendar that you use regularly. No matter if you're in middle school or college, you have to track your tasks, your assignments, and due dates. You can use a paper system, an app, you can go digital, or you can use a combination. But whatever you use, keep it simple enough that it's easy to use every single day, and do just that, use it every single day. Write everything down. Look at it every morning, review it every night, carry it with you everywhere. The more you use it, the more you'll trust it. Number 6, ask for help early on. So sometimes a class can be amazing for the first week, and then terror strikes. Or sometimes terror strikes on day 1. You're like, what did I get myself into? The point is that you need to recognize the very moment when the material you're learning gets to be a little too hard. You need to stop the train the moment you think to yourself, I have no idea what that means. Because if you don't understand how to add fractions, you're gonna be so lost when your teacher moves on to multiplying fractions. If you don't understand what a thesis statement is, and you can't recognize one in someone else's writing, then you won't be able to write your own. The minute that things start getting fuzzy, speak up and ask questions. Raise your hand, stay after class, ask a friend, find the information online. Don't be embarrassed either, because chances are high that if you're confused, someone else is confused too. Number 7, keep notes and materials organized for the end of the year studying. So my 4th back to school tip was to take good notes. But this back to school tip involves keeping those notes organized long after you're done with them. So most classes are structured with quizzes and tests throughout several units, a midterm halfway through, and then a final at the end. So it's all fine and dandy to keep your notes fresh and organized for your quizzes and tests, but then you store them someplace smart so you can find them when you need to pull them out again for midterms and finals. There's no need to keep every little piece of paper with you at all times, so keep a folder for each class at home where you regularly put retired worksheets, old quizzes, notes that you can, and then you just pull that folder out when it's time to study for the final. It's all in one place. It's really convenient. Number 8, we're almost there. Establish a study or homework routine. So you should have a regular routine that involves doing your homework in a certain space each day. Create a personal workspace that's equipped with supplies, it's quiet, it's distraction-free, it's comfortable but not too comfortable, not in your bed. Try on most days to do your homework in the same place so that your body and your mind begin to expect to go into study mode every time you're in that environment. There are so many studies that support the idea that over time, our environment can trigger particular feelings and thoughts in us if we regularly use that environment for a single purpose. And that's why trying to read in bed is the best way to fall asleep with a book on your face. Your body expects to sleep, we've all done that. Your body expects to sleep in that environment and not work. That's why we get hungry when we walk into a kitchen or a restaurant, even though we weren't hungry before we walked in. Over time, your personal workspace will trigger in you feelings of focus, purpose, learning, education, right? Now, another good habit is to do your homework at the same time each day. You likely have one routine during the week and another one for the weekends. Of course, things are gonna pop up here and there, they're gonna disrupt your routine, but try to do your homework and studying within a consistent window of time each day. You're gonna roll the punches too though, right? Block this time out in your calendar as if it were a doctor's appointment or something else that's non-negotiable. Number 9, we're getting close, take care of yourself. But here's the thing, if your body isn't fueled, rested, and strong, Your mind will not be fueled, rested, and strong. You must do your absolute best to get some exercise every single day. I mean, you don't have to go out for like an intense run every morning, but you could walk or ride your bike to school. You play ultimate frisbee. You could walk the dog. You could do a workout through an app. I have Sworkit. I don't work for these companies. I just like them. Sworkit and Workouts are really good ones for the iPad. Just move your body. Our bodies are meant to move, and if you're blessed enough to be healthy enough to move, you must. What? You're too tired? I dare you to do 20 burpees and tell me you're still tired. Seriously, try it. You don't have time? What? For a 10-minute walk? How much time did you spend on Snapchat today? Also, food. We are what we eat. That is science. The food that we eat becomes a part of us. It becomes a part of our cells. It changes our blood chemistry and our hormones. Every single morsel of food that we put into our bodies affects us in ways that I can't even get into here. If you eat junk, you're gonna feel like junk. If you eat well, you'll feel well. Yeah, I mean, you have to indulge in madness occasionally. That's just life and awesome. But your default foods should be real food. The majority of your food should not come from a box or a wrapper with a UPC code. This is just gonna set you up for failure, and it's gonna make it that much harder to get through your school day. Breakfast before school is super important. We've all heard that before. If you can, eat before you go, but that's not always possible depending on your schedule, so you can always take something with you. Smoothies are super simple, but be sure to throw in some protein powder and a handful of spinach to balance out the fruit sugars. You can't taste the spinach, I promise. And then I know protein powder can be expensive, so another option, I've done this, would be to actually add a little cottage cheese. And I swear, it's not chunky once you blend it. It just makes your smoothie super creamy. Don't knock it till you try it. A packet of oatmeal can do the trick. I actually throw in a scoop of protein powder into my oatmeal, or even put egg whites into my oatmeal when I cook it. Or eggs are easy to cook. You could hard boil a dozen eggs on a Monday, keep them in the fridge, grab them as you go. You can even eat non-breakfast food for breakfast. My mom does that, like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But please, no Skittles or Fruit Loops. I mean, those are really more toys than food anyway, if you look at the artificial ingredients. Am I gonna get in trouble? And lastly, sleep. Go to bed, people. Just kidding. I know how hard it is to get to bed on time when you have a gazillion things to do and you don't get home till 6, and then you have 3 tests to study for the next day plus a book to read, yada yada. The better you get at time management, the better you'll get at sleep management. So watch my time management videos. I'll put the links up or down somewhere around here for some ideas to manage your time better, and hopefully you'll get some more control over your sleep habits. And finally, number 10, you guys made it. You listened all the way through. Don't procrastinate. Start assignments right away. Procrastination is awful. I mean, feels good, but it's awful. So although it's completely normal and we all do it, it never ever works out. I mean, putting off assignments until later feels amazing in the moment, but it is going to stress you out big time in the end. Plus, you're gonna produce less quality work if you do it in a rush state. This is the way of the world. So my advice is this. From the very first day of school, make a promise to yourself that you are going to start before every single long-term project you're assigned on the same day it's assigned. What? Am I nuts? No? Maybe? But let me explain. I'm not saying complete every project on the same day it's due, but at least start it. If it's an essay, then that might mean you could pick a topic or write your thesis on a piece of paper. That's a first step. Or even just open your word processor and create and title a document. Just take one tiny step toward the project and you'll get momentum from there. So that's it, folks. My 10 back-to-school tips to start the year off right. And if you feel yourself slipping halfway through the school year, check back to the list to see which of these 10 areas you need to go back and bring more attention to. Good school habits is a process. It takes time. Good luck though, and please leave your comments or questions below, or you can email me. Thanks for watching.
I can do anything. I can reach any goal today. I can do what I want. I can be what I want to be.